Hello, good afternoon, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Abhimanyu.
Hi, this is Abhimanyu.
Yeah,
How are you
hi,
doing,
Abhimanyu.
sir?
I'm good. I'm good, Abhimanyu.
Sorry, my camera does not work on Google Meet, so
That's perfect.
it's we'll
No
do an
worries.
audio call if that
No
works.
problem. No problem.
So, sir, thank you for taking out time. Maybe I can start by giving you a quick introduction about us, and then
Please.
we can go from there.
Yeah, sure.
So, I run Dhyana Capital. We are a Delhi-based investment firm and invest in Indian public companies with a very long time horizon. We are a bit more than 3 years old, and our primary focus is small cap companies. So Sagar from Alacrity, who I believe is also on the call now, he has been very kind to introduce us to your company and mentioned you also have some fundraising plans in the pipeline. So we would love to learn more from you about the business, future strategy. You've all obviously put out a lot of material out there which we have reviewed. So happy to answer any questions you have about us, and then we can proceed.
No, it's okay, Abhimanyu. I have no questions. Sagar has already updated me about everything, so we can take it further.
Sure, sir. So, sir, overall would be helpful to get some background from you on the business. Where are you today, and in terms of future plans, how are you thinking about it for the next 3 to 5 years? Um and then I'm getting into more specific questions only because there's a lot of material out there on, you've shared the earnings call transcripts of the previous calls and so on. So I don't want to repeat a lot of the stuff that's there.
Yeah, so Abhimanyu, as you know, we are into the frozen ready-to-eat chicken segment, and we are the suppliers to quite a number of large and medium QSRs as of now. So
Okay.
in terms of revenue, we closed a revenue of 133 crores last financial year, and we declared a PAT of 6 crore, around about 6 crore, 16 lakhs odd PAT last year. We went through a fundraising round through the IPO, SME IPO. And the proceeds of that IPO are going into building up another facility, which is very close to our existing facility, like within a range of 1 kilometer. And that facility is to produce vegetarian products, also mainly for the existing new QSR customers and for exports. The new unit is going to produce around 14,000 metric tons. The product mix is we're going to do flatbreads like variety of tortillas, variety of parathas, some very innovative parathas as well. We'll be producing some base sauces and gravies, which is becoming a big trend in the fine dine restaurants from and the CDR restaurants. Even the QSR industry is looking at those sauces and gravies. So when we say sauces and gravies, unlike a cremica or the mayo based sauces, so this will be something different as maybe let's say we call a biryani base, or we have a just to give you an idea,
Right.
red gravy base, a white gravy base, a number of Chinese sauces which can be easily used by restaurants, by QSR, by anybody else to overcome the challenge everybody is facing on skilled manpower, kitchen sizes, number of SKUs to be produced, retention of chefs, retention of skilled manpower. So that's the area we are playing around. This unit should be up and going by March 23. I mean, it will be commissioned by March 23. We should be in production by March 25. We should be in production by July 25. In the meanwhile, we've also signed a JV with the Alana Group. The discussion on this JV was going on from the last 7 to 8 months. And a couple of week backs, we've signed the JV with them to produce value added, ready to cook and ready to eat meat products and chicken products. So that's the broad review, Abhimanyu.
Got it, sir. And sir, in this new capacity, so we plan to supply to our existing QSR base, or we also plan to do our own brand of parathas
No,
for
there are
export market?
no. There
Yeah,
are no plans to, as of now, there are no plans to do a own brand, D2C sales. As of now, we have no plans. So
sure.
the new capacity is going to be mainly focused on QSR, CDR, our existing business of, supplying to QSR, CDRs of all levels. And plus, we will also be doing exports and exports. When we're looking at exports, so we're not looking at our own brand exports. We are looking to, do it through white labels, merchant exporters, do white labels for importers in other countries. So that's the broad sales we want to do to begin with.
Got it.
Yeah.
And sir, if we look at your gross margins historically, they have moved between, say, around 20 to 23% to as high as 30%.
Yeah.
So how should one think about gross margins and how much fluctuation there is in our meat business when we are procuring uh, from vendors?
When you gross margins, I think barring the COVID times, I think we're quite, Vishal is also there. We are quite consistent between 27 to 30% now.
Got it.
That's the kind of, yes. We did have a volatility, during the COVID and the post-COVID times, because there was a lot of uncertainty in the poultry sector. Farmers were not willing to put in the birds, because during the first wave they lost the total crop. They just had to dump it somehow. Then it revived a little. फिर second wave आ गया. They revived a little. फिर third phase आ गया. So 1-1.5 साल तो मतलब there was hardly any crop when we in terms of live birds in the industry. So there was a huge volatility there. And then there was a volatility in our raw material prices because we import certain ingredients in terms of our soya proteins, in terms of our some extenders we use, and packaging film. So usme bhi, if you can recall that time, container prices shot up. There was unavailability of containers. So that was a big jumble going on at that time. But as of now, I think we're quite stable between 27 to 30%, Vishal, if I'm correct.
Yeah, correct, sir. And Abhimanyu, sir, just to add on, so we work on an annual pricing with all our vendors. So mainly chicken, that is also on a annual pricing. So that's how we manage the price volatility.
Got it. Understood.
So not just chicken, Abhimanyu, barring oil and vegetables, all our raw materials are annual price based.
Yeah, barring the commodity, so rest everything is on annual price.
Got it. That's quite helpful, sir. And sir, how will the margin structure work in the new capacity that you're putting up for breads? How do you envisage the margins there?
Margins will be better, Abhimanyu.
Got it.
Margins will be better. And, it's not that we think the margins will be better. We've done research. We've deep dived into the flatbread industry. We've done comparative pricings. We've worked our own recipes. So overall, if you look at, I can't comment on the bread as a commodity, what we eat at home. But when we look at flatbreads like tortillas or the Malabari Parantha business, or we look at other companies, the larger companies, and then if we look at the buying prices of customers and we work backwards on our recipes, so market margins are comparatively much better here.
Got it.
That is one.
Got it.
Secondly, in our current business of Abhimanyu, India is not a very large consumer of poultry as compared to the rest of the world. Okay?
Right.
अगर हम देखें तो शायद हम टॉप अभी तो आई एम नॉट श्योर अबाउट नाउ but like 5-6 years back we had a data where we were not even amongst the top 20 poultry consuming countries in the world.
Wow.
So volumes not being high, we have not been able to go into very much of autumn, although our plant is all a very we buy machines from the top suppliers in the world, but we are still like a batch process. You understand? So we're more into batch processing than line processing.
Okay.
So batch processing involves manpower.
Okay.
So it's still, I would say, comparatively labor intensive. But the new lines we are coming up with, we can call them more of flatbreads is large consumption. थोड़ा बहुत मतलब हम उसको commodity type products में आ सकते हैं. So those lines we are setting up are all very high capacity line productions. So involvement of manpower is also going to be like less than half than what we're doing. So we will be like almost tripling our production capacities, and we'll be reducing our manpower to less than half.
Got it.
So that is where again, the margin pressure will be much lesser. So we will be able to work on better margins there.
Understood. And there's what's the at full capacity utilization, what will be our turnover in the new plant?
Abhimanyu, it should be between 175 to 200 crores on the product mix.
Got it.
So we're looking at an average pricing of 135 to 140 rupees on the product mix.
Got it.
Yeah.
And there, sir, where are we in terms of customer development? Do we already have some tie-ups or commitments from customers, or we are in the process of doing business development there?
Abhimanyu, we've had discussions. There are no commitments as of now, because commitments will only come up when the plant is ready. People have let's say when we talk of the QSR business, the one of the core things of any customer onboarding us is audits, right? So food safety audits is a must. So
Right.
commitments will come in once the plant has been set up. But yes, we've had discussions with all the customers, who use these products. We have told them we're coming up with the plant. We've shared some, details with them of what all we're going to produce. And yes, everybody's quite upbeat and excited about it.
Got it.
Yeah.
And there, so we are looking to substitute external vendors, or do companies do this in-house right now and we are going to substitute them? Like, how are we thinking about the market? How is the market today?
It's going to be getting a market share from other vendors.
Got it.
In-house,
And there,
as of now, these products are not being done in-house.
got it. And so, which are the large organized players who supply to QSRs for these products?
As of now, the largest is Signature Foods.
Got it. Understood. Navneet, any questions from your side? I'll pause here.
Yeah, sure. Hi, sir. Hope you can hear me.
Yeah, I know.
Hi, sir. So just wanted to understand our recipes. So the products that we manufacture, especially for the QSR, is it that the products that we develop, or is it developed, with those companies? So how does that process work?
Works both ways, Navneet.
Okay.
Yeah, works both ways. So there are some products we develop, we showcase, they like it, they're onboarded, and simultaneously, their NPD teams also develop products which are obviously approved in their system by their other concerning departments, and then we commercialize those products.
Got it.
Yeah. Works both ways.
Got it. And sir, as I understand, quite a bit of our revenue flows in from both from Domino's and also Subway.
Yeah.
And so could we understand maybe what is our concentration with them, and even for them, how much of their product do they take from us? How much are they dependent on us?
Navneet, first of all, yes, there was a dependency. There still is a dependency. Obviously, we are their the most preferred vendor from like Subway. We are the vendor from the last 20 years since they were one store. It's been a beautiful relationship.
Yeah.
Domino's also we've been working since 2007. As of now, we would be doing like 50 to 60% odd business of the total chicken requirement for Domino's, and we would be doing around 80%, I think 70 to 80% for Subway.
Got it.
Yeah, but as of now, that customer mix is slightly different now. Taco Bell was onboarded by us. We 100% supplies to Taco Bell both for the vegetarian and non-vegetarian products.
Got it.
We've really worked together with Taco Bell to build all the products. So Taco Bell business is growing. Their own business is growing. I think that's one company which has a good future in the coming times because they are slightly different to the customer now. The products are slightly different to them other than the burgers and the pizzas.
Right.
And so from the last 2 years of working with them, I can see their numbers growing. Although they're not very bullish on opening stores, they are still focusing on their same store growth, which is a very good thing to do. And but yes, we can see their business growing with us. Chinese Wok is another customer of ours, which is growing at a very beautiful rate. Their business is also substantial now. Vishal, any other customers are missing?
Sir, it is the third day Burger King we have also
Yeah,
onboarded.
yeah. So Burger King also we've onboarded, although we are not a patty company, so we really can't offer the core patties to Burger King because we don't have the large patty lines which are required to supply to a McDonald's or a Burger King.
Right.
We've onboarded Third Wave Coffee. We've onboarded Tim Hortons will start. We've onboarded Blue Takoe. We are
Wow,
in touch with Coffee Beans and Tea Leaves. So we onboarded a lot of new customers in the last 1 year.
Got it.
So that product, that customer mix is quite different from what you would see in your numbers. As of now, it's quite different.
Understood. So
Yeah.
how does this customer acquisition process work? How is it that we approach them? What are the processes involved? Just to understand that journey.
Navneet, कुछ हमें approach कर लेते हैं, but the large ones normally we reach out to them. But yes, sometimes we're lucky they also reach out to us. I mean, I wouldn't hesitate to say that we have built a reputation for ourselves over the last 25 years as suppliers to QSR. Our vegetarian plant, although the one which we have now is relatively low capacity, but yes, the strength to supply vegetarian and the protein products to customers is really giving us the edge. So we also approach them. We also keep approaching new customers. Customers also keep approaching us. So वो mix सा चलता रहता है.
Got it. Or फिर
We've also just to update Navneet, we've also signed a NDA with the KFC. So we are doing quite an interesting project with KFC also. It should fall through. It might take some time, but yes, we're doing a very interesting project with KFC also.
Got it.
We've signed the NDA non-disclosure agreement with them.
Right.
With the Yum Group, yeah.
Right. So that's very impressive, especially how the customer mix has changed.
Yeah.
So how long does this journey take, sir, for we onboard a customer, like the audit process, all of those processes to actually translate to the first order? Is it quite immediate? Is there like a recipe development process?
नहीं Navneet, immediate तो नहीं है. Immediate नहीं है. It takes time. Depending from company to company, it could take anywhere between a month to 6 months.
Got it.
because audits
right now,
the plant safety audits have to be done. And then recipes have to be developed. Then once the recipes are developed, there is a lot of the QSRs. All the QSRs are working very systematic now, which is I really appreciate that. So there's a lot of product specifications, cut sheets which go in to and fro on the specifications until we reach to a a common ground on what specifications can actually work in mass production versus to kitchen trials at their end. So it normally between a month to 6 months. Sometimes it's closed within a month and a half. Sometimes it takes as long as 6 months also.
Got it.
Because if it's an existing product, it's quite quick. But if there's a new product to be launched, all the companies prefer to go, to one store trials, from one store trials to 10 store trials, and then they gradually scale up to a pan-India launch. Also takes time because they really want to understand how the customer is liking the new concept, the new product, the new flavors. So it does take time.
Understood. Got it. And so, what about our current capacity? So, what's our current utilization like? And of course, we are expanding with the flatbreads division, like you said. But what's our current capacities, with our non-vegetarian products? And
So overall, we are at almost at 85% capacity in a week.
So we are almost. Would that be the peak capacity, sir?
I would say that is the peak capacity, yes. But we plan to expand. So once the new plant comes in, which is in March, so we'll be shifting out the existing vegetarian lines to the new plant. So we plan to expand our chicken facility by another 7,000 to 8,000 square feet and build up the capacities.
Got it. Okay.
Because those, as of now, both these plants are joining each, although they're very separate plants, but it's a common wall with a separate entrance, separate everything. Right. But yes, it's a common wall. So once this vegetarian plant moves out to the new facility, so that was the idea, we will expand our existing chicken capacities as well. So it should expand by another 150 odd tons, which translates into another 6 to 7 tons per day. So as of now, we're doing around 16 to 17 tons. Then I think we should go up to plus 20 tons per day.
Got it. Yeah. And so, what sort of order visibility, like at the beginning of the year, do we have with these customers? Do they give us a number at the beginning of the year that this is what the product that they want, or is it like a periodic thing?
It's a quarterly thing. It's a quarterly thing.
Okay. We get a quarterly.
It's a quarterly thing. See, they keep doing. See, the way the QSR industry works, they keep promoting products. They keep on having those. They call them BOGOs, buy one get one offers. They keep doing limited time offers. So although they plan their annual sales, but the marketing team does play an essential role in all this. So right. For them to predict a number on products is slightly difficult because they keep running the promotions. So the volume on product mix does vary, quarter to quarter. So all projections are given to us on a quarterly basis.
Understood.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can continue. Let's see.
So overall, how much capex do we plan to do across the new capacity and then expansion of the chicken facility?
See, the new JV, the new facility Abhimanyu is a capex of around 42 to 44 crores. Chicken capacity will not need any major capex because we just short on space. We have the equipment. So chicken increment in the chicken capacity will not require any capex.
Got it.
It could be minor, 50 lakh, below 1 crore or something, but nothing major in the chicken because we have the equipment with us. All we need is space. So space is what we will generate once the veg facility moves up.
Got it.
Yeah.
And sir, so where does KFC procure their raw material today? Like, do they do it in-house, or do they have like other vendors right now?
Yeah, Manu, KFC concept is totally different. KFC procures raw chicken from all these slaughtering units. So they buy from every
Okay,
because their demands are huge. So, I mean, they have vendors in south,
right.
they have vendors in west, east, north. So KFC buys raw chicken, and then the whole process, that's the KFC USP. So everything happens in the store.
Understood. Understood.
Yeah.
And sir, what about?
Yeah,
Yeah,
but we're working on some interesting project with them, which I cannot disclose
sure,
now.
sure.
But yes.
And so, what about McDonald's? Because I noticed that's one big customer who we don't
But Abhimanyu,
have with
we
us right now.
like I mentioned before, we're really not into the patty business as of now. See,
Right, right.
supplying patties to McDonald's or supplying patties to Burger King is a very different ball game itself. वो अपने आप में एक project है.
Got it. Hmm.
Because their patty demands are like very large, and you need to have a totally, and setting up a good patty line for the likes of McDonald's and Burger King, the line itself would cost around 10 to 14 crores and space on
Got
top of
it.
that.
Got
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So in the vegetarian segment, जो अभी हम vegetarian में लगा रहे हैं, we putting up a large patty line there with a spiral freezer. So that's the time on the vegetarian part we will try and pitch to them.
Got it. And sir, in this 42 to 44 crore capex that you mentioned for the new plant,
जी.
how much of it is plant and machinery versus, say, building, etc.?
Vishal?
Yeah, it would be 30 crores towards plant and machinery.
Got it. And do we have like domestic suppliers for plant and machinery, or these are like imported machines?
It's all imported, Abhimanyu. All the major equipment, all the major, like our Totca line is imported, our Parantha lines are imported, our spiral freezers are imported. So a lot of, I think 80% of the equipment. So basically all the utilities, what we call them as utilities, like the generators, like the boilers or the other supporting equipment is Indian, but the main lines, main equipment is all imported. India, nobody is making them. They don't make it in India. You don't have suppliers in India.
Got it. So, sir, overall, fair to say that if we look at the business 3-4 years out, then you will be operating the new capacity at it should get to 175 200 crore kind of top line in our base case. And then what's kind of the growth rate we should expect in the current business?
Sorry, I didn't get a question, Abhimanyu. Current business means the chicken business?
Yeah, the chicken business.
Abhimanyu, as of now, on our existing, what we do now, we are looking at anything between a 10 to 15% growth in the existing chicken business.
Got it.
But there are things happening, like I said, we're doing something very interesting with KFC. There's something, we are trying to do we're trying to diversify, from our existing product portfolio to newer product portfolios in chicken also.
Got it.
So, I mean, if that all falls into place, we could be looking at a much larger growth. Otherwise, what we do now, the products we do now, we're looking at a 10 to 12% growth.
Understood.
But we are targeting to do a much bigger growth. We're trying to make things fall in place, which hopefully I should be able to disclose maybe in a month's time.
Sure.
So the growth rate will be much quicker than that.
Got it.
Yeah.
And so what are the typical payment terms with the likes of Domino's and Subway? In how many days do they pay us typically?
It's all 30 to 45 days with all QSRs.
Got it.
Yeah.
Fair. Cool, sir. I think this gives us a fair idea of the business. As I mentioned, I think there's a lot that you've shared in terms of transcripts as well.
Yeah. So basically, what we're targeting is, with the new JV, we're targeting to maybe grow our revenue by 28. We want to grow our revenue to approximately close to 3 times of what we're doing now by 28. And we're looking to improve our PAT by quite a substantial, amount. I mean, we would like to grow our PAT by at least 5 to 6 times. That's what we think we will do.
Got it.
Yeah.
Can you share a bit more about the JV, sir? Like, what are we planning to supply to them? What are the contours of the JV?
So JV Abhimanyu is with Alana, if you're aware of that group.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're into multiple products now. We know Alana. Even I knew Alana, not the way I know them now, but yes, they're into multiple businesses now. They are a lot into the B2C business in the Middle East. They do confectionery, bakery, cosmetics, oil. So what we are going to do for them is we are going to produce the value-added products for them for meat and chicken in their brand, and then they want to export it to all the countries they have their bases in. So the investment is going to be around another 40 crores for which we're doing a fundraise. It's a 70-30 JV, a mix of 1:1 debt equity. And so we're raising around 14 crores for this project, which we want to, have it up and going at the earliest. So we will basically convert the protein into value-added products. That's something we've been doing from the last 25 years. The likes of meatballs, sausages, shawarma, salam, sliced meats, kebabs, and pack it in their brand, and then they will export it. So it's a 100% buyback from their side.
Got it. And this will be a separate plant altogether, is it?
Sorry?
No. This will be a separate plant that you will put up altogether.
This will be a separate plant. This will be a totally separate plant. Yes. Yeah.
And what's the timeline for that, sir? I think end of 25 is what you mentioned.
End of 25 is what we are targeting. But see, the earlier we do, the quicker the revenue, the faster the revenue starts coming in.
Right.
So we've set that outer limit for ourselves.
Got it.
Because in this facility, so the agreement with Alana is to, to set up the plant in one of. So it's not. Otherwise, if it was to start from scratch, this investment would have been much larger. Buying the land and buying the building. So we will be doing it in one of the Alana facilities on a soft lease.
Sorry, come again, sir. I didn't get it. You'll use an Alana facility to put up the plant.
This plant will come up in one of the existing Alana facilities, and they will give it to us on a soft lease to set up the unit. So I mean, so that's where the capex is quite low. Otherwise, this capex would have been much larger.
Right. And so, how will the economics work in this plant? So, in terms of revenue and margins.
So revenue, this plant is revenue is 6,000 metric tons annual, and so we think it'll be a average price of between 325 to 350 rupees a kg.
Okay.
Yeah. So that should be the revenue on peak capacities, and margins again have been discussed. Margins will be better than our existing business.
Got it. So roughly 200 crore kind of revenue.
Roughly 200 crore of revenue. So that's what I said about menu, that by 28 we plan to, like we should be doing a 12 to 15% increase from our last year revenue in the existing business, and by 28 we want to triple this revenue.
Understood.
Yeah.
And so is there any sunset clause in this, or it's a perpetual agreement with Alana?
Sunset clause means?
As in, this is this is a perpetual agreement to supply to them using the plant that you will put up. So you will hold like direct equity in the plant, and then got it. So essentially, they are funding the land, and you are funding the machinery. Is that a fair understanding?
We are not funding the land. The land building will be given to us on a lease basis.
Got it.
So on a lease at an arm's length, not a very nominal lease price. So they will be putting in 30% equity. We'll be putting in 70% equity.
Understood. Understood.
Yeah.
And I also saw that they own some equity in your listed company. So is that as part of the JV or that's separately
No,
they
no,
bought
no. That's
a stake?
see, Bobby, when we were coming out with the IPO, they wanted to come in as an anchor.
Okay,
But somehow they approached us very late. They approached
got
us
it.
late when our anchor book was already closed.
Got
So
it.
these shares they bought post the IPO, they bought the shares.
Understood.
Yeah.
Understood.
Yeah. So that is when the discussion about that is when the discussion about the JV also started, and then they wanted to come in as an anchor in the existing IPO also. But somehow by the time they approached us, our anchor book was already closed.
Got it. Perfect, sir. Thank you for sharing these plans as well. Navneet, any other questions from your side?
No, I think most of our questions are covered. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Thanks a lot, sir. We'll do
Thanks,
more work in our
Abhimanyu.
end and we'll reach out to you or Vishal through
Yeah.
Sagar
Any
if
other
there's anything
questions?
else.
You can Sagar can share my number, and any other queries. I'm most
Sure.
you can ask me anyway. Yeah, I'll
Sure.
be available for any other questions you have.
We'll be in touch, sir. Thank you so much.
Sure,
Thanks.
sir.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thanks, Vishal. Thanks, Sagar.
Thanks. Thank
Thank
you,
you.
No,
Sagar.
sure. Thank you, sir.